Let's start. Okay, first of all, I need to say for my followers who know that I'm speaking usually in Ukraine that my English is not perfect at all, but I will try to make my best. And of course, I can't just lose this opportunity to show this amazing man just because I'm just like a shy to speak English. So I will try to do it. And now I will introduce you, Ed. We met each other in the Netherlands this summer, and this was the first guy with whom I was in the ice bath, not together, but you were just like guiding me to do my first ice bath in my life, and it was really incredible because I thought that I was really feel free in this mountain rivers. There just cold too, but it was okay for me. And I think that it's easy peasy. It wasn't. It was really like a shock thing for me. But at that moment, I just realized that you are a guide and show me that really important points, how to do this practice, not just like a shock one or just like some special experience, just something that will useful for me and for my next steps in life. So I really, really appreciate that I was met you, and maybe you tell something about yourself.
Yes, so thank you, Olga. Thank you for inviting me. I don't very often do these kind of things, so let's see how it goes. Um, yeah, so my name is Aad. I am from the Netherlands, but now live in Portugal with my family, my partner, who is a breath worker and a sex, love, and relationship coach, and our two little children, India and Amelie. And I am working as a breath worker. I do cold exposure. I do the Wim Hof method. I've been trained in transformational breath, in the Wim Hof method, in breathology, in, oh my God, so many things that I have done. Everything to do with the breath and the cold just fascinates me. And this is what I do at the moment. I use all the tools that I have experienced on my own personal journey, and I share them with people to see if it can be helpful for them. Now I do this mostly in the form of weekend or week retreats. And yeah, so I have just, I've had many different lives already. I was a lawyer for 11 years, defending criminals for life. Then I was bought a restaurant on the beach. Then I was the project developer for wind projects in Canada. Then I got another restaurant. So lots of different things have been happening in life. And the last 8 years now, I've been primarily focused on breath, cold, and everything to do with that. And the reason is that in my busy life, in my stressful life, um, these are the things that have brought me much closer to myself, that have showed me how to actually feel, how
Mhm.
to be very present, and eventually how to love myself more. And this is, I think, the biggest journey in life that we all have, to fully embrace who we are, where we are at. And this is still an ongoing journey for me.
Yeah.
Um, I cannot say that I am perfect and I am succeeded and I have mastered all these tools fully myself. No, actually, the things that I share with other people that I, if you would like to call it, teach other people, are still the tools that I constantly need to remind myself also in life that it is important to keep on practicing, to keep on doing this.
Mhm.
It's when you look at the Wim Hof method, for instance, there is three pillars. There's the cold exposure, the breath, and the mindset.
Mhm.
And if you would ask Wim, what is this mindset about, this commitment? He would always say, just do it. Because if you don't do it, you're not going to get the benefits. And this is the thing that always, even when you're working in this field for so long, I still have to take my time to go and do my own practice. Because if I don't, I lose myself again. And this is very easy.
Mhm.
So easy to lose myself. So it's very important to keep up these practices.
For sure.
And for me, working with it, sharing it with other people, always is a beautiful reminder of how important it is. And then I remember, okay, integrate it into my life as well.
I think it's really, really profound thing you say, that the own practice is the main idea for me, to do my own work first of all, and then we can just help other people to go through their challenge in their lives. But the first, it's my own job and my own journey. Could you share maybe one of the most incredible breath session in your life, which was a boom maybe in the beginning of your journey, life journey, or not?
I think it would probably be my first fully conscious connected breathwork sessions, which was in Bali in a yoga and breathwork retreat. And I did a holotropic breathwork session, and I had no idea that the breath could take me there. And I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I was in this room in Bali in Indonesia, standing around half naked, running around like a warrior while I was in the middle of a breathwork session. And after the session, I was like, wow, this entire experience was just fueled by my own breathing. So that was a big eye opener for me, how incredibly powerful the breath is. And then when I was doing my transformational breath training, I had a session where somehow things were coming up that were very related to my childhood, which I didn't realize that this was going on at that moment. And it was a pretty calm but also intense session. And after the session was over, like 5 minutes after, all of a sudden I started to cry and cry and cry and cry. And I was crying for like 45 minutes. And before this session, I had no memory of my childhood school. None, nothing. And the next morning I woke up and all of a sudden all these memories were back, like they had never been gone. So for me, it showed me that somehow, because I didn't feel fully safe in my school, I kind of blocked this. I built up a wall to keep myself safe. And then when I allowed myself to feel this and really get in touch with these emotions, the block was gone. And all of a sudden, it felt okay now to feel these feelings of the school again. And all the memories came back. Like everything, all the names of the kids in my classroom, the teachers, how it looked, everything all of a sudden was there, very clear. And it showed me again, the power of how the breath can take us to areas that we unconsciously push away. And then we get to a different level of our consciousness. And in this area, we can actually heal. And all of a sudden, boom, oh, wait a moment, this has always been there. And it was not such a bad memory. It was actually, I had a beautiful time also at school, So
yeah. I remember the same breath session. I mean, it's about my being in a mom's belly, and it was really hurt me a lot. But at the end of the session, it was a lot of liberation, and I understand, wow, it's an amazing. But I will ask you your opinion, because you know that we are living now in a very hard situation in Ukraine. How do you think this kind of word holotropic rebirthing, is it normal? Is it useful now for people inside the country? How do you think?
Well, these sessions, when it comes to holotropic, when it comes to rebirthing, to transformational breathing, like these really, when you go into a session which is consciously connecting to the breath for a long time, where you go and you experience different states of your consciousness, first of all, always need to do this guided by somebody with experience, unless you are very experienced yourself. But it's very important that you always do this guided. I think especially when you're in very stressful situations, it can be incredibly helpful to have a session like that if it's guided properly.
Mhm.
But yeah, when you are in a situation with a lot of stress, with a lot of trauma, with a lot of, the war and everything that brings up, then you have to be able to also deal with the stuff that is coming up.
Mhm.
So for this, it requires a very safe environment. So somebody who guides you through this. And you need a certain amount of relaxation and calm in this as well. If you don't get this safe feeling, the breath will not take you to the place to heal.
Mhm.
So you will maybe do a session, but may not get out of this what you could get out of it if you were in a more calm state.
Or even a bit dramatized. Mhm.
Yeah, because what I've experienced is that the breath will only bring up what you are ready to face.
Mhm.
So this is why it's such a beautiful tool. So it will always be helpful because connecting to the breath, being in the present, getting out of the mind, getting out of the thinking state, and actually finding a way to feel safe while you are activating the sympathetic part of your nervous system is an incredible tool, So it will help you in daily life, especially when you are in an area like yours. So I think it's amazing that you bring the breath to Ukraine, because I'm very grateful for people like you who spread this work, especially in the areas where it's most needed.
Mhm.
I sometimes feel a little bit like, oh, I'm always working in these safe areas with all these kind of privileged people who are able to pay for this and take care of all of this, and where the breath is also really, really needed, especially in areas which are experiencing a lot more stress, like in the Ukraine.
Mhm.
So I'm very grateful that people like you are doing the work there. And yeah, and the thing is that, and this is just speaking about like full breathwork sessions,
Mhm.
but there is many other tools that people can use on a day-to-day basis by themselves, um, to deal with the situations that they are in.
Mhm.
And so if you, for instance, in the Ukraine, when you have this very strong stress situation, like what happens when we have our nervous system, and when you make it very, very simple, like this is not even the full truth that I'm saying. You can say the nervous system has two branches, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, the
Mhm.
activating and the relaxation. So basically the fight flight response is the sympathetic, and the rest and digest is the parasympathetic. Of course, with the polyvagal theory and the freeze, and there is a lot more to be said about this. But
Mhm.
just to keep it very simple, when you are in a stressful situation, you activate the sympathetic part of the nervous system. And this influences everything. It influences how our organs work. It influences which hormones are produced. So it influences how we feel and how we deal with stress. So when we activate the sympathetic part of the nervous system, the um, adrenaline levels go up, but also the cortisol levels go up in our body.
Mhm.
Now, when we relax again, the cortisol levels go down again, and we can then go into the parasympathetic when we manage to relax and, balance this out. When we are constantly in a state of stress, and I can imagine that when you live in an area where you are never safe, where you can always feel that a bomb could fall on your house, or your loved ones could get hurt, or you could get hurt. When you're constantly in this state of stress, then at one point the cortisol levels don't go down anymore.
Mhm.
And then the stress becomes chronic stress. So, and that's when it becomes also really bad for your health. So it's really important, even when you are in this situation, to take moments to relax.
Mhm.
which
Could
is
you
not very...
show us some exercises or maybe short
Yes.
things,
So
what we can do to really activate the
now
parasympathetic?
let me ask you a question, Olga.
Yeah,
What happens to your breathing when you are stressed?
more faster. And
Yes.
actually, usually I breathing through my mouth, and
Yes.
so faster
Yeah.
and intensively.
Yeah. And what part of the body you breathe in mostly?
Actually, I think when I activate it, it mostly in the belly, maybe.
Okay. Because a lot of people mainly breathe like when you are
Okay.
stressed, you go
Mm-hmm.
a lot up in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
It is fast. There is more focus on the in-breath. So if you're stressed, your body and your breath responds to it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So when you are trying to cross the street and a car is coming and you have to jump out of the way, you go, right? This is what happens automatically, right?
Yes.
So what if you are relaxed and you are sitting at home and you feel safe? Maybe you're reading a book or you're doing something calm. What does your breath do then?
Of course, just more longer and superficial, not so deep, like something like this.
Yeah, so your breath becomes actually a lot calmer.
Mhm.
Usually the exhale becomes longer.
Yeah, for sure.
You breathe more in the belly, you breathe more with the diaphragm. So your diaphragm, which is right here, which is our main breathing muscle. And our
Mhm.
diaphragm is connected like to our nervous system. Our whole breath is connected to our nervous system. So what you just answered to me is that the breath follows our body when it comes to stress. Okay? So when we are stressed, our breath changes.
Mhm.
And when we are relaxed, our breath changes. Now, do with me this for a moment. Okay? We just breathe like this for a moment. Okay? Go. Do this a few times. More. Okay, and now relax. Okay, what do you feel?
I'm feeling like my head starts a little bit moving inside, and I don't know this English word.
Yeah.
And a
What does your
hot
heart rate
in
go?
body.
Yeah. Your heart rate goes up.
Yes.
You feel more energy. You feel more on. So, and now breathe in through the nose and a long exhale. And gently in through the nose and a long exhale. And one more time. Do one more. So how do you feel now?
Even shoulders go down, just body start to relax and like flowing.
So the breath follows the way we live. But the most important thing that I would like to tell your audience is it's a two-way street. So if we influence our breath, it also influences our state of being. So actually, we can influence our nervous system by influencing our breath.
Mhm.
Okay? So basically, when we start breathing really fast and high, we go into activation. But
Mhm.
when we breathe very calm, we go into relaxation. So basically, breathing in through the mouth activates more the sympathetic part, the activating part. Breathing fast and with a focus on the inhale, breathing high into the chest, all activates the sympathetic part of the nervous system. Now, breathing slow into the belly and breathing in through the nose and having a focus on the exhale, so longer exhale, activates the parasympathetic part of the nervous system. So the rest and digest.
Mhm.
So if you know this, then you know, okay, I can actually use my breath to influence my state of being. So in order to be able to do this, you have to first realize, hey, where am I at? What am I doing? What am I feeling? Okay. So even when you're in a very stressful environment, it helps to take a few moments during the day to just stop for a moment. Just stop. Be present, observe your body. What is your heart rate doing? What is your energy doing? What is happening inside your head? You know, how are you feeling in general? Are you feeling calm? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling activated? Are you feeling deactivated? What are you feeling at this moment? And then can you take a few breaths just to be very conscious of the breath and just go, where you make the exhalation twice as long as the inhalation. So maybe you breathe in for 4 seconds through the nose and 8 seconds. Exhalation. And you do that a few times. Then all of a sudden you feel, oh, hey, things are looking different. Actually, you look at the world differently. Your eyes even respond, like how you register everything responds to this. So, and this is just a very simple tool. This is just very simple. So basically just relax on the exhale.
You know, I'm actually usually tell my clients that it could be a lot of practice, have to be a lot of practice for that moments when they are like in shock or they have a strong attack, because a lot of people say to me that when you are really inside the situation where a lot of something really strong, maybe like a panic attack, it's really hard for them to stabilize and then to breathe out slowly and long time, because there are a lot of things and thoughts
Of course.
and what will be your suggestion for this? How do you think? Because I said that it's a lot of practice before the situation can like stabilize them in that moment and aware that, okay, I just know this practice, I can just hold it and like just stabilize myself, like a knowing already a base.
Well, first of all, always realize that your body is responding in the way it should. So if you are in a stressful situation, you will activate more because you need to be alert. You know, when you're in a dangerous situation, you need this adrenaline in order to be able to respond quickly, maybe to run away, maybe to hide yourself, whatever you need. So in this situation, go with this, okay? Just accept that your body is doing this. If you get to the point where actually you're physically safe, but you're still feeling totally stressed, now this is the moment where you can say, okay, can I now try to influence my breath? And then don't expect this to change like this, okay? Because it doesn't happen that you go, now I'm calm again. I just changed my breath around and I'm calm again. No, you need to have some time. So give yourself some space and some time and allow this to be and just feel with what is. And don't judge yourself for being stressed when you're in the Ukraine and you're in a different situation, you know, because this is natural. So actually be grateful to your body for keeping you safe, because that's what your body is always doing. Okay. However, when you come to the situation where you feel, okay, listen, like I'm actually in a safe place right now. There's nothing I can do right now to change my situation. So now I can try to relax. It's very difficult because your mind is all over the place. So counting really helps. So really just go and you count 1, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And only focus on this breath. Whenever you get caught in your mind, like, oh, I gotta, go back to the breath, go back to the counting. Because it is a very simple tool, but the breath is always present. The breath is always there in the present moment. So you can actually trust that if you need to feel, if you need to be present, all you need to do is go. And what helps maybe is putting 1 or 2 hands on your belly, underneath your belly button, and really just, while you feel your belly stays relaxed, breathe all the way down into your body. And then exhale. And if you can do it just like that, then it's enough. If it's too much, count. See if this helps. If not, the IBF, the International Breathwork Foundation, has an amazing app, which is free, which you can download online, which has, you can set the settings to breathing in and breathing out, and you follow the sounds. Something like this. Anything that you can do that helps you to get out. Now, this is when you are in this situation, but there is also many moments in our life when the stress is not there, and we can actually teach our body how to respond differently to this. So by consciously taking a moment in the day when you have the time, when you're not in a unsafe situation, to be with the breath, to feel how we are feeling, to change the breath, to maybe do a breathwork technique, like for instance, the Wim Hof method breathing technique is absolutely amazing for this.
Yeah.
It's very simple, but it's very effective. Always do it in a safe environment, sitting down, lying down, never in the water, never while driving a car, because you're playing with the chemistry of your body. You can have a very short blackout, and people have had accidents with this, but if you do it in a safe environment, you're fine. YouTube is filled with thousands of films how to do this breathing technique. But you can also download the app from the Wim Hof method, or do like an online course with them. And it's an amazing tool to do during the day, once a day or twice a day, whatever you feel, because you train your body how to switch from sympathetic to parasympathetic, So this is already an amazing tool. And the other tool that I like to use for people is the cold.
I was waiting when you start to tell about that. And actually, I will a little bit summarize that you are saying. And actually, I want to share with you the same thing about the belly breathing. Then I show my Alisa, it's my daughter, how to breathe with the belly. She's lie down, and I put a beer toy on her belly, and they said, let's do the I don't know, so like a babes for teddy bear, and she's like moving him, and she has fun with that, and understand that in that way with the plane I show her how to modify her breathing. Of course, she's not consciously yet, but it's the way how to play with kids and show them how to use belly breathing, because I know that it's really necessary for now, for that people who ask me how to work with the kids. And of course, first of all, about the parents, they stabilize themselves with different kind of breathing, and then they can show to the kids. And of course, I will put all your information about you, how my followers or some people who will watch this video can find you, because I think that's a really great opportunity to who can make a session, real session in Europe, because a lot of Ukrainians now there in the Portuguese too, and then can catch you, because it's my thing that I usually ask people to make this conversation with me, that kind of people that are so rare in social media, in Instagram and Facebook. There's no way to catch them there. There's no advertising there, and when I catch this kind of people, I'm really amazed. And you are the one that I feel you like a really professional and with a profound knowledge and a huge experience, and I think it's really a treasure for me to show you, for my followers or wherever saw this video. And of course I will wait, because and one more time I said that Ed is a member of Wim Hof team, yeah, and you know a lot of that, and of course it's impressed me a lot, this breath, cold breath, which I told that we are met each other in the Netherlands in the Global Inspiration Conference. And so tell me all about this breath and how we can use it, maybe short practice or short exercise, or maybe just something when we can put like a puzzle in our knowing about breathing or cold breaths.
So would you like to hear about the cold or another tool for the breath? What was your question?
Maybe I don't know, because you tell me about this kind of exercise and more exhale, and then a Wim Hof method of improve breathing, and then I think that we are going to a cold part, no?
Yeah. So when you do the Wim Hof breathing, you breathe in 30 to 40 times very actively, very deep. So you can still breathe in through the nose, or if you want to activate more, you can breathe in through the mouth, but you do a bunch of deep breath. You really breathe deeply into the belly and then into the chest. You fill up as much as you can. You go.
Full breathing.
You do this about 30 to 40 times and you will feel activated. You will feel tingling. I already feel it now after a few breaths. Then you exhale and you hold your breath. You hold for as long as feels comfortable for you. Then at one point you may feel, hey, I feel the urge to breathe. And I invite you to stay with that just a little bit longer. So just to be able to relax into this uncomfortable sensation of having to breathe. Okay? So if you can relax in that a little bit longer, you teach your body how to deal more with high amounts of carbon dioxide in the body. So this is a bit of a technical thing that I won't go too deep into right now. But then when you feel, but you should not create stress. So when you feel the strong urge to breathe at the end of this, holding the breath, the retention on the exhalation, you take a deep breath in. You count down from 15 to 0, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, all the way down to 0, and then you let go. Now, this is one round. You do this 3 to 4 times in the morning, and you will feel, it makes you stronger. You influence your nervous system. You influence your body. You train your body in many, many different ways, so that during the day, coping with difficult situations becomes more easy. So this is one tool you can use. Using things like coherent breathing, where you just take a moment to calm down and sit down and breathe in for 6 seconds and out for 6 seconds, and keep on doing this. In and out through the nose, just very gentle, just in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. While you focus on your heart, while you actually tell yourself to put on a little smile in your face, and you go into a positive mindset, then you feed your whole being with positive energy. And when you are in a situation like you are in the Ukraine, it's important to do this, you know? We easily tend to get stuck in the negative. People are more drawn to negative energies than to positive energies, which is something really strange. But you can see it in our news, you know? We have more negative news than positive news. People look more at negative films on YouTube than the positive. So knowing that we are drawn to this and that this is a human thing, okay, so this is something that happens, but I am in a situation where I'd like to bring more positivity and more love and more self-care into it. Okay, you use the breath to stay present, breathe into your heart, put on a smile, breathe in positivity, and just see what it does for you. You know, what I'm trying to say is that with all these things, first of all, the breath is your friend, always. Okay? Just know that the breath is there to serve you and to help you. And just feel what is happening when you change your breath, when you influence your breath consciously, and how it influences you. And don't say, oh, when I do this, I'm going to feel good because Aad told me that I'm going to feel good. No. Do it, experience it, feel it, and feel what it does for you. It's different for everybody, but just try it, you know?
Yeah.
Just try to use the breath as an amazing tool just to be present, balance, calm, and some more positivity in life if this is needed. And sometimes you need the breath because you need to be stressed, because stress is not a bad thing. And don't get me wrong. Stress is something that makes us grow. But when it's chronic stress and you guys are in a situation where you have too much stress, yeah, then it's something that is not good for you. And if you know then that the breath can help you to calm down, yeah, at times this can be very beneficial. So I really hope that this is something that your audience can use.
Thank you a lot.
Yeah. And the other thing that I work with is the cold. And you already, you shared your experience about being in an ice bath. Yeah. And, actually, the people in your parts of the world are much more familiar with going into the cold than the people in my parts of the world, because it's very much part of your tradition.
Yes.
And but it's also interesting when I used to work a lot in Poland with Wim and the Wim Hof method, and we have this amazing waterfall there that Wim discovered, which is in Przyszeka, and people go there. Also, a lot of Polish people go there to take a dip. But what I see a lot there is the people going in, having a few shots of vodka, and quickly jumping in. Yeah, it's a way to do it, but it's not the way that is beneficial to you. Exposing yourself to the cold is very healthy. Okay, it has many, many benefits. And people in Russia and the Ukraine have known this for centuries, much, much longer than we have. And there's actually a man in the Netherlands teaching what he calls the Russian method. He teaches cold exposure, which he has learned in Russia and the Ukraine because he has spent a lot of time there, and he learned a lot about this. Cold is something that you can use very beautifully. But again, there is a few things that are very important. The first thing is safety. So never push it. Always build it up gradually. Always do it together with other people. Make sure that you do things safe. Okay, this is very important. And then what happens when we go into the cold? We get an incredibly strong stress response. All our survival mechanisms go on. Oh, cold, 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 cold. I need to get out. We get into all these responses. And these responses are amazing because, again, Just like the breath is your friend, your body is your friend, keeping you safe. So when you get into the cold, your body will do all sorts of things to keep you safe, which is amazing. But we have to be conscious of this. So if we are aware of what is happening, we can actually observe this and see if we can respond in a different way. So if we go into the cold and we feel this strong stress response, which is totally normal, then instead of telling ourselves, oh my God, this is horrible. Oh, I need to get out. Oh, it's painful. Oh, I'm going to die. We can also just say, okay, can I feel this pain? Am I allowed to be with this pain? It's just pain. Pain is always there. The Buddhists have a beautiful saying. They say, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. So it's how we deal with this pain, which is what is important. And the same goes, when you are dealing with stress, you can tell yourself that it's horrible and constantly go into the stories of how incredibly horrible it is. Or you feel the stress and you see the stress and you can say, okay, this stress is actually because it's helping me, because it's a way of surviving. But can I be different with that? So if I go into the cold, I can take a moment in a safe setting, which can be very short because I plan it. I go in, I go out, I prepare, I do some warm up before I go in. I make sure that I have a towel and everything ready for when I get out. So you do it in a safe setting, but you expose yourself to incredible stress and you know it.
And it was an amazing when you say to me that it's not about the time that you can just hold you in that bed. It's not about that at all.
No.
And it was for me, oh, it's amazing because a lot of videos, reels, about it. Oh, my timing is so much. And I think it's not about that at all. And your idea was really helpful for me in that moment when I see that it's horrible.
The thing is that a lot of people think that more is better. Oh, more is better. More is better.
It's like a competition, yeah.
Exactly. And it becomes a competition, either with other people or with yourself. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. Are you still there?
Yes.
Sorry, my phone rang and wait. Where am I? How can I
We're talking about the competition and about that. It's a lot of
Yeah, so I don't know. Wait, I
It's
gotta
not about that.
find you. Well, you're still there, so I don't know how I'm able to. Here I am. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, my phone rang and but it is not about competition. You know? You have to ask yourself when you go into the cold, what do I want from this? You know? Do I want some health benefits? Do I want to learn how to deal with stress? Do I want to have just the experience? Do I want to feel that I can deal with these strong things? What is it that you really want? What is it that you want to learn from it? Or do I want to show my friends that I can be in an ice bath for 15 minutes because they think I'm really cool? If this is your goal, then, slowly work towards this goal and you can do it. You can train yourself to go there and to go longer and longer and longer. But for me, the reason to go into the cold is really to be present, to feel the cold, and to teach myself how to be different with this stressful situation. So I have a very controlled, fixed moment where I consciously expose myself to cold, where I feel, oh, all this stress is coming up. all this pain is coming up because, trust me, after having done, I don't know how many thousands ice baths I've done myself, I'm still feeling the cold. I'm still feeling the
Still
pain.
alive.
Exactly. And so instead of telling myself that this pain is horrible and that I need to do this or I need to do that, I actually just observe it and just look at it and just be with it and just say, hey, okay, this is the pain. This is the pain I'm feeling. Can I embrace this cold? Is this cold allowed to be here? Can I just be with the cold? And then all these physical sensations that are happening, that I go with my shoulders like this, which is normal. Can I relax? Can I focus on my breath and very gently go and focus on the exhale? And then at one point, there can be a moment where you actually switch from fighting to the surrender. And all of a sudden you feel, oh, hey, wow, now it's a different experience. As soon as you reach that moment, it's enough. That's it. That's it. Time to get out.
Job is done.
Feel that job is done. Get out. Enough. Sometimes you get so stuck in it that you cannot get there. Fine. This is where I'm at right now. I'm feeling this. I still get out in time. Because you don't want to overdo it. You're going to put even more stress on your system, which may already be stressed. Why do this? You know? So, you know, cold has health benefits. Absolutely. You know, there is, you produce all these hormones which are beneficial to your body. You reduce inflammation by going into the cold. It's really good for you. But when you're very sick, you don't go into an ice bath because you already need your energy to fight off some sort of sickness. If you then go and put yourself in an extra stressful situation by going into the ice bath, it can actually have the opposite effect because now all of a sudden you need all your energy to get warm again, which energy you were actually needing in order to fight off a bacteria or a virus or something. So, you know, it's very delicate with these things. So people think, oh, cold is good for me. Then I'm going to do 2 hours of cold because that's going to be amazing. Yeah, but then you put so much stress on your body that you have to be really trained and really fit in order to be able to deal with that. And yes, we can. I mean, you look at Wim, he does amazing things with his body. I mean, he's an amazing man and he does amazing things with his body. But he is trained for that his whole life, you know, and he has been doing that in order to show people what the body is capable of. Not because he wants to show off and say, hey, look at how cool I am, because he's not that kind of person. But he just wants to show that it's possible. But sometimes people confuse that by thinking, oh, well, if somebody can stay in a box of ice cubes for 2 hours, I have to be able to do that also. No, you don't have to be. You are able to do that if you train for that. And if this is your goal and your desire, well, go for it, you know? But if you want to have the benefits of the cold, then you do it short and you do it timed. But most of all, you do it very consciously.
Yeah.
So you're very aware of what is going on. And maybe it is nice, you know, I helped you once in the ice bath to have somebody present who can help you with that, you know, who can tell you, hey, focus on the breath. Oh, relax your shoulder. Oh, look at it. But most of all, for me, I prefer if people, you know, if I don't have to do anything. I just say and I explain it up front and just do it yourself. Feel it yourself. Be with it yourself. But if you go into the cold, always very gently build it up. Slow, slow, slow. Even just a small dip of 10 seconds in the beginning can be enough.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So use it as a tool. And every time you teach yourself in this situation to relax, to surrender, to accept. You also teach your nervous system how you can deal differently with these stressful situations. And you will realize it in life. You will realize it in life that it's happening. Hey, oh, actually, now I'm in a very stressful situation, and now I don't automatically go into the response, but I actually first feel what is a suitable response right now. And that would be freedom, you know? If we can always be able to do that, that for me is freedom.
Yeah, it's for me, it's too important to have this variety, how to deal with some situation when I'm not just, like you say, automatically I can choose, and it's for me it's really important, and that can be with cold. And now in Ukraine we have not a lot of, but we have a snow, and we can actually practice with the snow a little bit step by step.
I'm jealous.
I want to
I wish we had some snow here right now.
What?
I wish we had some snow here right now.
I think in Portugal there is no snow in winter in the mountains.
There is a few areas where it's a bit higher, where sometimes they have snow, but it's not normal here now.
I want to say a huge thank you, because you find the time for me for this conversation, and I know that you'll have a lot of job, of course, and your family, and I appreciate your time and your experience you share with me or with us, and a huge thank you.
Thank you, Olga, for inviting me and for sharing these important things in the parts of the world where it's needed so badly. So thank you so much. So let's stay in touch, and I hope if there's any questions, then people can leave a comment or get in touch via you, and yeah.
All information will be under the video. Thank you a lot.
Amazing. Thank you.